Hey guys, so today's video is part one of a two-part video because I can't possibly make it one video. It'll be literally an hour long, but it's all about the same topic, so I'll film them just all in one go and then I'll split it up into two parts and you're getting two videos instead of one because there is no way I'm doing one whole video about this. Today's video is about the Hype House. It's a group of TikTok kids basically just doing TikTok things. But there's more to it, I promise. And recently, obviously, the Netflix show came out. So part one of today's video is, part one of the video is going to be about kind of how the Hype House started, any drama, anything like that. And then part two will just be a summary of the Netflix show, so you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. Now subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll know when the second part comes out. Like, comment, so it hits recommended, and let's just get into it. So the Hype House was founded in 2019 by, allegedly, and this is what I got from Wikipedia. Now, there is a lot of drama to do with who founded what, who put what money down, who is what, who is where. Do you know what I mean? But we'll just say, officially, Chase Hudson, Thomas, Petro, Daisy Keach, Kouvr, Alex, Warren are all the founders of the Hype House. And they're all people that put down money in larger or smaller amounts. And then we had drama. So this all kind of happened beginning of 2020. Daisy posted a video about the Hype House and how she was basically scammed out of money, essentially, and the videos are now down. Both Daisy and Thomas put out videos and then I went back to watch them and they weren't there anymore, so I had to watch summaries of their videos. And I think the main person that had the summaries was Spillsesh, which shout out to Spillsesh, thank you for actually covering this because I would have been lost because I forgot everything about this. So basically, Daisy posted a video saying how she put down the most money, along with, I believe, Chase, and that Thomas put down the least money, along with Kouvr and Alex. So Daisy, was one of the co-founders. She put down a lot of money. This all happened because Thomas actually worked for Team 10 back in the day, but he was fired. And Daisy and Thomas were besties, so Daisy basically took him in, paid him to be her editor, and then when she was starting the Hype House, she basically just said, like, hey, do you want to start with me? I think we could, co-found it. It'll be good for you. It'll be good for me. So she kind of brought him into the world of making money on social media after he was fired, and then he snaked her, allegedly. When the Hype House started, Thomas was acting like the manager, so he had access to all the emails, and no one else had access to, the main Hype House email. Even though they were all co-founders, no one else had access to the emails. So any brand deals that came through for just the Hype House, not them individually, but the Hype House, went through Thomas, and she believes that she didn't get paid quite as much as she should have been paid. So he would get the brand deals that come in and he'd be like, hey Daisy, this is brand deal that I think would work really well with you. Hey, do you want to do it? And then he would actually give her a sum that was much lower than the sum that was offered in the emails. So she says there was just a lot going on. He would claim he didn't have money, but then he'd buy Cartier bracelets and Teslas and all of that stuff. She apparently filed a trademark for the Hype House. He said she filed it wrong, so she kind of unfiled it, and then he filed it alone with Chase after she got kicked out. Do you see how there's just a lot going on? Basically, there were talks between their lawyers because Daisy was going to sue them. Now, I don't know where that went. The whole situation kind of died down after the videos got deleted, so I'm not sure if maybe they settled out of court and the lawyers told them to delete the videos because the case was done, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of question marks around the Hype House, really. There's some things are public, but some things just kind of happen behind the scenes and then you don't really know what's going on. There was a New York Times video made about them on the New York Times channel. It was about the Hype House, and she didn't have representation at the time, so no one told her how to kind of behave on camera and what to say and how to present herself. So she just kind of presented herself as Daisy Keach, the influencer, part of the Hype House, yada yada yada. Chase and Thomas had representation at the time in the form of management who told them, make sure to focus on the fact that you guys are co-founders. Make sure you tell everyone that you founded the house. So in the New York Times video comes out and Thomas and Chase are quite clearly seen as the founders of the house, the owners of the house, the managers, and Daisy is just seen as a member of the house. She's not seen as a co-founder, even though she did put down a lot of money. Then everyone unfollows Daisy. Thomas begins and then he tells everyone else to unfollow her. So Daisy posts her video. This was March 2020. And after she posts her video basically exposing Thomas and the Hype House and kind of everything that was going on in there, Kouvr actually started posting on her Instagram stories messages between Daisy. So she posted a statement, essentially, I'll try to find it, saying you can't claim to be doing this in support of women, because what was going on was Thomas behind the scenes was saying you can't be the co-founder of the house because this is a man's business. A woman is supposed to just be an influencer. You can't run a business. So this was kind of a women's issue as well. So when Daisy made this video, she said she's making it on behalf of other women, other influencers who are being screwed over by men in the industry. Kouvr then posted a post on Instagram stories being if this is for women, why are you not supporting women yourself? And posted messages where Daisy is having a go at Kouvr for not tidying after herself, for not doing enough work, for not posting videos, for just not trying. And actually, as much as I like Kouvr as a person in the show, in the second part I will be giving a summary of the show, and Kouvr just does not do any work. The bare minimum, they all live for free in a $5 million mansion, and Kouvr can't get up and film a vlog or can't get up and do a brand deal. So the fact that this was being mentioned in 2020 and it's still happening now makes it look like Daisy isn't lying. So in the messages, Daisy says, look, I get up in the morning, I don't tidy because I am the co-founder of the house, I put down the most money, I invested into this, I film vlogs, I film the workouts, I film TikToks, I film brand deals. The least you can do when you're not doing any of that is make sure the house is tidy and like make sure the house like functions, which I agree with. If you're not doing one thing, you should be helping with another thing. Like if you're not putting your weight here, you should be putting your weight there. You can't just live in a $5 million mansion for free and not do any work. And Kouvr still really doesn't do much work, and it comes out in the show. So it all links back. Like now looking back on it, Daisy definitely wasn't lying, in my opinion, because we can see the same characteristics in the house now happening in the Netflix show. One of Daisy's friends then saw the stories and posted, if you're going to post out of context messages, make sure you post the rest of the story. And Daisy then posted the rest of the conversation where essentially Kouvr slut shames her and says that the only reason that Daisy is as big as she is because she posts provocative pictures and uses her body to get attention, which I think is just disgusting. Like if that's not the way you want to live your life, don't live your life like that way. But Daisy is literally a fitness influencer. It'd be kind of strange if she was trying to show me how to do a fitness move and show me progress without showing her body, right? Like, it'd be a little bit strange if you ask me. But even if she was just posting it for the funsies of it, we are in 2020, 2022 now, but at the time 2020, it's a new day and age, yeah? Let's not shame women just because you wouldn't do the same. So like women supporting women, Kouvr, what's up with that? I just want to know. Daisy gets kicked out and she starts her own house. That kind of doesn't last very long, but it was supposed to be like a women's house. At its peak, the Hype House had 21 members, including Charlie, Dixie, and Addison Rae, who then very quickly left once their fame kind of boomed. That was May 2020. So March, Daisy gets kicked out. April, May. In May, Dixie, Charlie, and then Addison all leave. So Lorraine joined in January 2020 and then left at the end of 2020, which is very interesting. Vinny joined in January 2021 and is still there. And allegedly Renata, who is a Russian model slash influencer slash TikToker, joined in December 2021, but I'm not really sure because Hype House doesn't even seem to be a thing anymore, so she's not really getting many benefits. But let's talk about Renata for a minute. After they've stopped kind of joining, you know, people like Charlie, Dixie, like actual like good, great influencers, not saying they're not problematic, but they're definitely less problematic than Renata. They started joining people like Renata, who's been called out for racism against black people. I remember said that she had a dry spell in having sex because there was nothing but Ensler around her and she didn't want to have sex with them. Disgusting. There was fat phobia. She basically just a lot of shaming in her videos. She's a stereotypically attractive slim girl, so for her to say that, anyway, just gross. Lying about her age both ways, I believe, or it was just that she was lying about being older than she was, which is gross. I think she was 14 pretending to be 18 so she could like meet up with some guy. It's dangerous. I do understand that a 14-year-old doesn't have the same like mental capacity to understand that that's incorrect, but the fact that she then admitted it, you know. Anyway, so she joined in December 2021, but that was very short-lived because the Hype House is basically done now 2 months later. Then we have probably the biggest scandal of the Hype House, which is Sienna versus Jack. And I don't think I covered this very much because it's such a mixed situation. But more has come out recently, so I'm going to get into it. So they were dating at the time very publicly. They did a lot of TikToks together. They, you know, did the whole thing. And then there was a video that came out where Jack is allegedly highly, and I'm going to have to keep on saying allegedly because this is a crime, so I have to keep on saying allegedly, where Jack is allegedly very intoxicated to the point where he's asleep and she is on top of him, kissing him, touching him, etc., which qualifies as SA. Everyone around Jack starts tweeting about this to expose Sienna, but Jack never puts out a statement. So everyone then starts, you know, cancelling Sienna because of the SA allegations, and Sienna posts some TikToks to explain what happened and then a YouTube video, which a lot of people at first really liked, and then immediately the tide turned and people just didn't believe her and didn't like trust her. After this, essentially Sienna just went back to posting regular content and she's now been uncancelled because she just continued her career like nothing happened and she's just living her life, still getting likes, views, comments, the algorithm's still in her favor. Her TikToks pop up on my For You page every now and then. And then Jack recently posted a TikTok, which is this one.
Oh my god, you're such a legend. You make me so wet with your reckless spending. You've gained my respect and you're oh so funny. Please, take me to your mansion and vote me.
You're fucking delusional, so try your best to remember. You're not a pimp, you're a borderline sex offender.
I'm seeing he's going to be putting out a statement sometime soon about this whole situation. Now, why is this important? It's because the Netflix show just came out, and Sienna and Jack were both supposed to be in the series as members of the Hype House. So every member of the Hype House got like a little backstory, got like a little, you know, clip, whatever, like a little bit in the Netflix show. The two of them didn't get a bit, as if they're not members of the house. So Sienna was completely cut out of the show, and Jack was just in a few clips here and there. I'm assuming they both just kind of had to be cut out. But this wasn't addressed in the Netflix show, even though when the Netflix show was being filmed, this was all kind of happening. So it wasn't addressed. I'm assuming maybe some legal issues, like because it cannot be 100% proven. Netflix didn't want to deal with like legal consequences in case Sienna wanted to sue them for defamation. I guess they just didn't want to touch it. Or maybe Jack said that he didn't want Netflix to cover it so that he could cover it in his own words on his own platforms in the way that he wants to do it. I'm not sure. But anyway, he did post a TikTok saying that he will be covering this soon and that he will be releasing a statement. So we're just waiting for that. But we all think it's about Sienna, but it could be about someone else. Because, so he said everyone in LA knows that you're like an SA person and that you've essayed other boys. Now, in Sienna's video apology thing, she said that he has been essayed by someone else before and that he's now putting that blame on her. So now this could either be about Sienna or it could be about this other person that we don't know, but we all think it's about Sienna. Because if it wasn't, at the time when everyone in his circle was accusing her, he probably would have said, hey, it's not about her, it's about someone else. But he didn't, so I'm assuming it was about her. This gets very confusing. The last scandal about the Hype House and for why it is kind of falling apart and why it did fall apart is parties during the pandemic. I don't know if you guys know, kind of remember what was going on. Pandemic hit in 2020 heavily and then it kind of carried on to 2021, but 2021 was much looser on like the restrictions. So in 2020, everything was supposed to be on lockdown, no one was supposed to be leaving. The Hype House decides to have parties, gatherings, go out to Saddle Ranch, go out to Boa Steakhouse, meet up, go for drinks, go to the club. Everyone was allegedly testing negative, but then in the Netflix show, we did see that people did test positive and still decided to go out. I'll be going over all of this in the second part of the video. But I remember it was the Hype House and Sway House that was just doing the absolute most. Sway House being Bryce Hall's and Noah Beck's house. To the point where the Sway House had their electricity cut off in the house, because that was like the punishment. But yeah, there was just a lot of scandals, mainly with Nikita Dragon being like an unofficial member of the Hype House. She was just going around with those little visor masks and not doing anything to stop the spread of COVID. So that was just another scandal, and it was mentioned in the Netflix series and it didn't make them look great. So that's all kind of the backstory of the Hype House. If you guys didn't know what the Hype House is, I can't name you very many members. There are so many people in there that I just have no idea who they are. Obviously, I know the main guys, you know, Chase, Thomas, Daisy, Kouvr, and Alex. I know them. I know Charlie, Dixie, and Addison Rae. I know Vinny, I know Lorraine, I know Sienna and Jack. But there are so many people in there. There's like a Michael guy, a Mia person. There are so many people that I just have no idea who they are. I think that is like also another reason for the downfall of the Hype House. The hype is gone. When Charlie, Dixie, and Addison left, the hype in the Hype House also left. You can't have just a bunch of people that no one knows and then call it the Hype House. The hype was the 3 most followed people on the platform. That was the hype. Now the hype is gone. So I think the downfall just came with people wanting to do their own thing and just leaving, and then they couldn't like repeat the success of Charlie, Dixie, and Addison in someone else, so they were just getting like lower tier TikTokers. And that sounds awful, but you know what I mean, statistics wise, lower tier TikTokers who just weren't going to reach the same success as Addison, Charlie, and Dixie. But those are the scandals, those are the members, that's everything that's happened, what's been going on. And now the Netflix show was officially announced in April 2021, but it aired January 2022 due to, I believe, COVID maybe, or maybe like the scandals, I'm not sure. So it must have been filmed like early 2021 or end of 2020. Sienna and Jack were in the posters, clips, and the trailer, etc., but they were just like cut out of the show and only Jack was being shown. And yeah, so I'm gonna get into the Netflix show summary in my next video. And subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment for engagement, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.